Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mission Incredible. We're about to play some single solo survival match here on good old Homefront the Revolution. But tonight I want to talk a little bit about setting up a character in the good old resistance mode. And it's not really hard to do. It looks a little bit complicated, but honestly, you'll be on your way in a little bit of time. So what you want to do is you want to choose the resistance mode. And I think for the first time characters, no characters at all, you don't have a character, you've never ever set up a character before, it's going to probably look something like this. You can actually come in here and it's going to say, hey, do you want to set up a character, blah blah blah. You end up having to go in here, and this is one of the first screens I think you should see. Choose a male or female character, and then from there you get to choose a head, a torso, if you will, body wise, and then you can go ahead and confirm the head. I think you also get to choose some type of outfit. I don't think it really matters for the most part. There's not a lot of things in there. Now for selecting a background skill, this is a skill that's going to be counting against your total. So in other words, right here, you're going to go ahead and choose one of these skills if you want to. There's a way that you don't have to choose a skill, but one of these you have to choose. And there's a couple in here that are actually going to be beneficial to you later on in life, but you don't get to see any of that in the very front of all this. What I'm trying to say is you have a tree in the background, a skill tree of different things that are going to be able to aid you later on in life. It's going to make, like this one here, it says brains. That's one of the skill trees. And you get to look at these. And at the bottom down here it says reduces gear rank restrictions by 1 rank. So in other words, if you're let's say you're a level 4 character, right? So you're a level 4 character and you got a level 5 item, you can actually wear that instead. Okay, so it just reduces things that you get to use by 1 rank. So if you're a level 4, you could get ahead and pick up level 5 stuff and use it. Alright, so that's nice. There's other ones in here. It's going to be up to you which one you want to do. Like I was saying, if you don't want to start with anything at all, you want to see what the game is going to offer you, you can choose the student one. It doesn't give you any one of the bonuses at all, or a skill bonus at the very beginning. And you're like, okay, but if I get to choose one at the very beginning and I'm going to start this game with basically no experience points and no cash, and I'm going to be at a level 1, I would probably like to have a skill, right? So I think, for the most part, I think there's a couple in here that are actually decent. This one here, the Prepper, I think is one of the better of all of them. Okay, I think there's only 2 in here that I think are really good, because I don't see the other one that says it's like a mechanic or whatever. I think they took that one out because it was just too good. So what the Prepper is it says, with hidden caches all over Philly, you basically are never without the essentials. Always enter a mission with at least 1 GTK item. That's a guerrilla toolkit thing. You're going to get at least 1 of your pipe bomb, I should say 1 of your Molotov cocktails, 1 of your pipe bombs, 1 of your distraction tools, and 1 of your hack tools. So you're going to get 1 of each, regardless of whatever is in your inventory. If you're all zeros, you're going to automatically get 1 of everything. And that'll help you build your GTK inventory, your stockpile of inventory, over time. So if you're coming in with 1 of everything and you don't use, let's say you don't use your distraction tools at all, you don't use your I don't know, you don't use your pipe bombs at all, those will actually be put back into your inventory at the end of the mission. Okay, so the Prepper is one of them that is decent. Let me see if I can find the other one. It says perfect. I think that was the other one. And there's a bunch of them in here. Here it is. Reduces all tier unlock costs by 1. So that's pretty significant if I think about it, because now it's going to cost, all your unlock stuff is going to cost less. And meaning, we will show you that in a minute. It's more, I think they should rewrite that to say, I think it's trees. Your actual trees are actually going to be cost you less for points. Not very cryptic. So let's just choose this one, and let's go and say test. You can choose whatever one you want. I'm just choosing that one because it's different. Okay, so now we have a character here, and he's going to start basically with a assault rifle, and he's going to get a pistol. He's not going to get any boosters. He's not going to get any pharmas. He's not going to get any GTKs. These are shareable over all your characters. So if you have 10 characters or whatever, these numbers could be at 90, 99 or 98, and no matter if you start a character like we are right now, you're going to be able to see them. And your skill points are going to be different as well. What I want to do is I want to go through the tree real quick. Clothing is nice to know. You'll get clothing as it comes. Weapons, for the most part, primary weapons are pretty much shareable across the board as well on all your characters. So you as a player are not going to start with all these. When you start out, most of all these are going to be grade, okay? But the most important thing I want to put out about this gun menu for your primary or your secondary or even your third weapon is that you only get to choose one from each category. So we have categories of assault rifles, shotguns, battle rifles, crossbow variants, right? So there's basically 4 of them that have multiple categories. So you cannot start with 2 rifles or 2 assault rifles. So you can't have like the LMG and then you can't have the assault rifle at the same time. You only can choose one of those, and then you'll have to choose something else. You can't run in with 2 shotguns. You can run in with a shotgun and an assault rifle, sure, all day long. Or an assault rifle and a battle rifle. It is possible. So you only get to choose. You can't run with 2 assault rifles. You can't run with 2 shotguns. You can't run with 2 battle rifles or 2 crossbows. You only can choose one from each of those categories. So if you have 2 weapons, you can do it. So you have primary, or because it's going to give you a primary and it's going to give you a secondary weapon. If you have a third weapon, it'll do the same. But again, you only can choose one out of each one of those variants. That's an important thing to try to remember, especially when you're trying to boost up all these weapons. You're only going to be able to use one. I'm thinking, okay, well, hell, I just got, the LMG, so I want to make sure I'm going to do the LMG first because that's the one I only can use one at a time, and that's going to be my primary one. So I'm going to put my best effort to try to get this gun upgraded. And so we're talking a little bit about upgrades. You actually have 5 stars in upgrades, and they're going to cost you a different amount of points. We'll get into points because it tells you weapon parts right there underneath the picture of the gun. That's in the menu to the right-hand side. It says upgrades. Okay, let's go into a gun that has not been upgraded, like this shotgun. It's going to tell you, basically, you got 350 weapon parts. It's base weapons the first star. The second star says, it's going to give you a certain amount of upgrades. Look at these upgrades and see if that's something that you'd like to do. So now it's like, okay, it doesn't look like it's good. I'm going to get 30% weapon ability, then I'm going to go ahead and get 25% max damage, and then I'm going to get 20% sprint speed. I'm like, okay, no. But the LMG says 20% reload and weapon select speed. It's an LMG, it's kind of bulky and heavy, so the faster I can get that done, the better. Weapon stability, nice. 25% damage range is good. And then 50% magazine capability with an LMG. And that's like 350 rounds, I think, which is pretty awesome for this gun because it just kicks ass. So you'll end up putting weapon parts into all this, and weapon parts are getting out of the crates, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Okay, so we talked a little bit about weapons, and your weapons are going to be a primary weapon and a secondary weapon. Okay, granted, eventually you might even be able to get a third weapon through skills, which is the next tree. So let's go to skills. Okay, skills. I tell everybody in this game that I can try to tell about skills. Skills is important. But the most important thing I think of all these is looking at the bottom tier level 4. The tier level 4 is going to be the level or the item that you're going to be able to drop on the ground and offer to other players in your group. So let's say that you have 4 people. You're trapped in a room, or you're basically hugging against a wall and trying to knife everybody because you guys are out of something, out of whatever, and you're trying to get out, or you're trying to move on without getting all taken down. You have 4 different skill trees. In the level 4 is the one that's going to show you the bang for the buck. This is the one that you can throw down on the ground and everybody gets to take advantage of it, including yourself. So for the brain side of the house, it's saying here that you can give out medical supplies. How many of these medical supplies you get, I don't know. But you can do it basically once a mission. So if you do it early in the mission, you're going to be screwed because there's not going to be anything left that you can throw on the ground later. You're going to have to dig for boxes and hidden items on the maps. Okay, so that's number 4 for that one. This one is adrenaline boost, which basically means you can movement speed and damage resistance you offer by throwing that crate down the ground. Everybody takes advantage of that, and then they can actually move a little bit faster and actually have some better damage resistance. The fighter. The fighter does ammo supplies. Ammo supplies, I think, are probably the best of all of them. And the reason I say that is because you have weapons out there like the people that want to carry the RPGs, or if you want to call them bazookas, or whatever the hell you want to call it. They don't have much ammo in there. Or if they have the heavy-handed sniper rifle, well, that only has like 46 rounds in it. If they end up using that a lot, they're out of ammo quick, and they're not going to be able to use that gun for a while. They'll be basically empty until they can find some other down people that they can pick up ammo from, find another crate somewhere, a blue box of ammo somewhere on the ground, or somebody like you drops one of these boxes and they can replenish their ammo to 100%. Okay, and then we have the survivor. And the survivor basically says it's crafting materials. So if you need pipe bombs to take out a large Goliath, which is a 6-wheel tank, basically the only way you can take him down is with the pipe bombs, and you need at least 4 to take him down. 3 for sure, but 4 is better. And so if you need parts to be able to craft these things, everybody can go ahead and pull the crafting parts out of this box, whatever the crafting parts may be, and then you can actually start creating your pipe bombs, crafting those, which is not real hard to do. Okay, so now that we know that, let's take the fighter tree, for example. All right, well, everybody needs bullets, right? So everybody needing bullets, the fighter side of the house. It's good also that we chose this one because it's going to reduce the tier unlock costs by 1. So now it's saying that I only need to really use 1 in here instead of 2. And you can see this, that I've got different things. I say come in here, and how do you unlock these things? You unlock them by experience points, because it'll tell you down here in the big window to the right hand side. It's actually going to tell you the spotter. Okay, if you want to unlock this, you're going to need to have 1,500 experience points, and you're going to use up 1 of your skill points. You start out with 20 of your skill points. Okay, 20 total. So I tell people to try to run through this as fast as they can and go right straight to the bottom as quick as you can, and then use up whatever other points you have somewhere else. So now choose one of these trees. Dude, you think the bottom down here, number 4 skill tree, which one of these is the best of all of them? You say, okay, well, all right, it's the fighter. Let's just choose the fighter. So if you choose the fighter, you want to use up the minimum amount of points you can get to go to the bottom. And how do you do that? You know, I tell people to come into this game with 5,000 experience points. You come in here with 5,000 experience points, that's going to allow you to choose any one of these character trees. I'm saying, if let's say that you are on tier level 1, you come in with 5,000 experience points. This is only going to cost you 1,500. So next time you come in here, it's like, okay, these might be great. Level 2 might not be locked. They might be grayed out. And you could actually choose one of those instead of staying up here. Some people are going to go like, well, I came in with 1,500 experience points, and my only choices are these, so I guess I only can stay in this tier. That's not right. So what I'm trying to say is, if you come in with 5,000 experience points, whatever you have the ability to choose will be grayed or be ready for you to choose one of them. So you get to choose tier 1, 2, or 3. You don't have to always choose all the ones in tier 1 and thinking that you can go down to tier 2. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, this is going to be 2 pieces. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 8, 10, 12, 14. You're not making it down to the bottom because there's 14, there's 17, and there's, 4 more. Oops. So you don't necessarily have to do all of them. You get to choose a couple of these. So it says, in order for you to get to tier level 2, you need 2,200 experience points plus 2 more skill points. Your skill points will come in time. It'll actually tell you how many skill points you actually have. But you definitely are going to use a lot of skill points up. So if you come into the fighter tree, your goal is to get to the bottom as fast as you can. And one of the good things about this fighter tree is not only about getting armor, but it's also about getting another gun. And that's the skill tree down there at level 3. This particular skill is actually adding an additional weapon. So now, like I was saying before, instead of just starting with like a sniper rifle and a pistol, you can actually eventually get, I don't know, carry an LMG as well. So then you have a sniper rifle, you have an LMG, and you also have a sidearm like a SMG. And that's the best of both worlds. I mean, you have 3 different weapons: close range, medium range, and long range weapons. So yeah, just pay attention to whatever skill tree you want to start with, and get down to the bottom as fast as you can. Okay, hey, cool, man, I've got it all the way to the bottom. I've got some extra points left over. Okay, it's got some extra points left over, so what you want to do is then choose whichever one of these you want to choose from. Go to whatever one of the trees that you want to and choose up different ones that are going to benefit you. Sure, it's going to cost you just as much points to get all the way to the middle area. You're probably not going to get to the bottom on 2 of these, but it's definitely going to be a challenge to figure out which one of these you want to do. Additionally, so if you, on the bronze side of the house, if you want to do more of the health side of the house, you probably can get in here and start using your points and try to get these. So like, okay, I'm more concerned about health, so I can go ahead and carry more ammo, or I can get more health packs, or gain some additional small amount of health or something, which may or may benefit you. And so, yeah, you just use up as many points as you can in here. Again, for a review, so choose one of these that you really, really like, and try to get down to the bottom as fast as you can. And then whatever all the points you have after you get to the bottom can be used in that particular tree, or choose another tree and start choosing those points as well. Try to come in with at least 5,000 experience points, so that way it's easier to see which ones you're able to unlock. You won't be disappointed then, and you won't have to say, shit, that's not exactly what I wanted to do. Let me start all over again, delete the character, and lose all that time and effort, or not be happy or satisfied. So come in with 5,000 experience points, and then you can go ahead and choose your level 1, and then if it won't let you go to level 2, then you can actually choose the second, and then the next time you come in with 5,000 experience points again, it will actually let you go to tier 2 and tier 3, and maybe eventually tier 4. So that is it for that. Consumable boosts are nothing more than things that aid you in your campaign. Again, across the board, if you have more than one character, these will carry over and you get to use them even as a new recruit. So you have damage, you have health, you have cash, you have XPs. The XP ones, I recommend using those when you're trying to go get XPs. If you have them, use them up, get rid of them, because they're worthless in a regular game. There's no need for them. If you're maxed out at level 6, which is a max level, you don't need any experience points, because they're worthless. So you can go into a game with 30% more experience points. For every 1,000 experience points that you get per mission, it's going to give you that. So let's say you get 1,000 experience points, it's going to give you another 300 to earn your XP level up higher, to get your guns, or your skill points, obviously, get your skill tree going, and that will make it a little bit easier. But all these other ones are nice to have, and use them as you wish to, and you get to use one of these per mission. So if you use it during the mission, it's going to, especially for this side, the boosters. The boosters are actually the ones that are going to, if you use it, you take it, you use it, you lose it. Okay, now the farmer side of the house. There's an exception to the rule. All of these, you should be able to do the same thing, use it or lose it. I think the only exception is a Hail Mary. So if you don't become incapacitated, if you don't go down, and you don't do your self-revive, then you do it. So if you choose this one, and you have it chosen, and you go back in here, it's going to say Hail Mary. So we run through the game, and the game is being played, and if I don't go down, this Hail Mary gets automatically thrown back into my inventory. Since we're talking about inventory, it's the same thing with the GTKs. GTKs will look something like this. It's Gorilla Toolkit, and there's certain things you'll pull out of the crates, and if you don't have it, it'll say devices unlocked. You can buy it from the Armory crates. Or you should be able to obtain it from the Armory crates. You're not going to be able to buy this particular one from the Armory crates. It's random. It's just whatever they throw at you is what you get. But again, Most of these you'll end up running with at least 1, 2, 3, or 4 of these, depending on how much your inventory has. If you have a maximum of like 90 or something like that, like I do, your actual total carry is going to be 4 for me in this example. And if you don't use them during the game, like I never use any distractions or I never use any hacks, so they're automatically going to get thrown back into my inventory even though I don't use them. And that's always a good thing, and that's why the numbers are so high on me right now, is because I never use this stuff, except for the pipe bombs I use. And every once in a while I'll throw some Molotov cocktails, but other than that, not much. So that's basically about it. Let me think about if there's anything else. Nope, I think we've covered the skill points pretty much. I think we covered the GTKs a little bit. You don't use them, it gets put back into your inventory. The boosters, if you put it in here, you're going to use it, you're going to lose it. The only one on the pharma side of the house that you don't end up losing if you don't use it is the Hail Mary. We talked a little bit about the sidearms. Now let's go ahead and go into weapons one more time. And let's just go to our primary weapon. Let's go ahead into upgrades. And I forgot to mention this a little bit. Well, let's talk a little bit about, let's say, I want to use the shotgun, for example. This pump shotgun. Okay, it's at a base level weapon right now, 1 star because it's blue. The next upgrade is going to be number 2, which is basically a 2nd star. And it's going to tell you the different types of upgrades. You have to use weapon parts for each one of these stars, in each one of these upgrades. And you have 350 weapon points available right now. It says right up underneath the gun on the right hand side there. And then at the very bottom of the screen, it's going to tell you you got 75 upgrade points to upgrade this gun. Now remember what I told you about guns. Your guns, you only get to choose one out of every one of these variants. In the game, you're only going to be able to run with one of these in your hand. Even if you have 3 things, you're going to only be able to use 1 per variant, if you will. Like I said, so it's important to remember that to try to concentrate your weapon parts on the guns that you think you're going to want to use the most. It's going to cost a lot of weapon points, and those weapon points are very, very hard to get. What you end up getting for weapon parts is when you go to the Armory. So basically you would bounce all the way out and it'll say Armory at the bottom down here. It says Armory in the store. And you can actually, weekly, you'll end up getting a bonus crate every week that you have the game loaded. So at least once a week, just light off the game, come in here and get your crates. You get a free crate. It's called a bonus crate. And it's just for showing up for every week. And so then from there, the other crates that I think are very, very important, the number 1 is going to be the consumable crates, because that's going to give you off armor, I should say, it gives you random consumable items, including the pharmas, the boosters, ammo, and weapon parts. And that one is really, really good. The second one you're going to have to concentrate on is the weapon crate. You're not going to pick up these guns anywhere else. You're not magically laying on the ground anywhere. So over time, you're going to start having to spend a lot of cash and try to do the weapon crates. If you end up getting like the battle rifle, which I think is the best configurable sniper rifle, and then you end up getting the LMG, those are the 2 best ones that you can get. And there's others in there. If you decide you have a lot of cash, you can actually go ahead and buy a lot of different weapon crates to try to max them all out. I just went and bought them all over time. And so then, if there's ever a reason for me to need some type of weird combination of guns, I can have it. So, number 1, I think best crate is going to be the consumable crates to start out with. The second one, the most important, is going to be the weapons crate, because you need different weapons, and especially the LMG. So that's a killer weapon, it really is. And then you have the veteran gear crate. The veteran gear crates are going to give you stuff for clothing, basically anything from your head to your toes. And this type of box can give you anything that is on the planet. Usually it'll give you a level 5 gear type things. And it's not going to tell you a lot about this, okay? It's going to say woodland, combat pads. Okay, great. It's going to tell you about, it's going to get a cash booster, okay, and you're going to get some explosive armory. I've actually got 5 of these. I'm like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Now I got 5 more of these. It's going to put those up near max. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Same thing with the weapon crate. It'll just going to randomly throw a weapon that you don't have. It's not going to give you a weapon you already have, but it's going to give you a different one until you've got them all. And then the consumable crates is basically a $500 expenditure that's going to give you random items. And it's just going to be one of these things that you end up putting into your inventory until you use it. Okay, basically enemy detects you, takes longer to detect you, the enemy does. And you have a small damage booster, 5%, what you do. And then you have 3 more or whatever, or 2 more of the Molotov cocktails. So those 3 right there, I think, are the most important ones. And the biggest bang for the buck, honestly, is going into the consumable crates and highlighting that consumable crate, and then backing out, and then since it's highlighted, hitting your, so if you want to buy a consumable crate, hit your enter key twice as fast as you can. And typically it's going to give you weapon parts, almost always. There you go. It's perfect. It's 100 points. And that's a lot. I mean, that is a lot of points. And then I end up going in there and doing it again real quick, and you can get, sometimes, not always, you'll end up getting another one with more weapon parts. It's amazing that sometimes that does work. I mean, some people are going like, I don't think that's going to work very good. It's like, hey man, it's on a roll, you got to take it and go with it. Weapon parts are important, so now we only got 200 in 2 out of 3 tries. So that's pretty good. That's it for the weapon crates, and that's how you get your weapon parts to upgrade your weapons, like we talked a little while ago. So we talked about getting into it, and then you get to choose after your character's all set up. You're good to go. You went through the armory after you went through a couple of games and stuff. How do you start a game? Go into a private game, and then go ahead and try to play Burnt Offerings. Up on my Mission Incredible YouTube channel, you can actually type that in, Mission Incredible YouTube, on Google, and you can find my Mission Incredible YouTube channel. And then on there, within the first 15 or so videos, I've got Burnt Offerings up there, and it shows you what pattern to run. And it's really easy to do. If you follow the way I do it on that video, it's going to knock out the amount of enemies you have to kill, saving yourself a lot of ammo and a lot of misery. And even if you die, stay in the game, because it's going to give you a certain amount of points for getting a certain distance. So if you get 60% or 50% or 20%, it's going to give you a prorated amount of experience points. You take them. Do it, take it. Take the loss and move on smartly, because it doesn't penalize you for any of that stuff. It's going to give you a decent amount of weapon points. So all you got to do is basically, when you come into a new game as a newbie, you just come in here and you start running it out. So you can choose the ready mode. It's going to say at the bottom down there by his feet, mission starts with 2 more ready players. You go like, what? I need 2 more players? No. You don't need 2 more players to play the game. You can go ahead and hit start. It's just saying it's going to automatically start. That's what they should have said. It's going to automatically start if you have 2 more players readied up. It gives you a little bit of a mission briefing down at the bottom center of the screen. And it gives you a little bit of tips at the bottom down that you can actually hack a Wolverine if you want to. But those are the little tanks that run around. So let's run through this real quick. It's going to take another 8 minutes. Hit your enter key, and then we're going to go ahead and choose a different weapon here as soon as we log in the game. Run with the lightest weapon.
Processed gas into Elm Tree under heavy guard. We don't know what they're doing with it, but whatever it is, you can bet your ass it's not good for us or the people of Philadelphia. Infiltrate that storage facility and blow the supplies sky high.
Okay, once she's done talking, and she's not.
Race. The recon team we sent in ahead of you is pinned down near the dry dock. Help them clear the area of KPA so they can extract from the zone safely.
Okay, so you have the junkyard where everybody's fighting, or you have the building over here where the sniper is. We're actually going to go up there where the sniper is.
Reinforcements were sent. Help us out of here, will ya?
Come up to this ramp, go at the very top of the stairs. Okay, so if you stay inside this building, if you stay in this building for this entire thing, there's the second part of this wave is not going to happen. So you can knife her from behind, use your melee, take her out, swing your knife. Okay, from here you can take about everything else. Just got to be kind of patient, and you hopefully have a decent aim. on, slowly but surely. You can do this for the small tanks, but the big Goliath that comes, you're not going to be able to do it before. Okay, he blows up, you can get parts from him, but it takes a little bit to get him down. Alright, I'm making it slowly but surely. Those guys are too far away to take headshots out. But my point is, eventually when you get better at the game, that area up there, you stay in that window, the second part of this wave is not going to come. What do I mean by the second part of the wave? This is the first half of 2 parts, if you will. Grab ammo from this guy. Pay attention to your...
More KPA moving up!
Now see, the second part of this would never happen. All these other guys that are coming would never happen if you stayed up in that room up on that, where that sniper was. Now you're going to have to take all these guys down as well. If it says heal, you better, because otherwise you're going to get down. You can knock them down as quick as you can. Take your time on this. I mean, there's not a rush to get these guys down.
People. There's plenty to go around.
Take your time. It's not any big. Those guys will end up knocking down a lot of these, and you can use your radar. The X's on there are people that are on the ground that you have not stolen the ammo or basically raped, if you will. I feel like a better way to say it. I don't know what else to call it. Guy's down only because the guy that was in here has been beaten on him pretty much. Figure how many more of these guys are over here. Okay. You can rape these guys as much as you
Things
can.
were looking
Anyway.
bad until you turned up. We're heading back to the subway to report in.
That's the
Good luck
first
with your
and
mission.
second half
Give
of the
them hell.
first. So basically the first half is now done and over with. Take your time.
EPA radio traffic is hot. Chances are they've figured out what we're trying to do.
Okay. And this is always going to be here. This right here is a free extra items. You're going to get ammo. You're going to get some things up here on this table, if you will. And you can actually craft some things. So let's stop here for a second and show you how to craft. You can use the spinning wheel, use your mouse to move it around. And you can actually have up, remember I can have up to 4 different things, and I've got 4 in here. So I can't really do a lot with that. And you can use your number 1 key, your number 2 key, number 3 key, number 4 key, 5 key, 7 key. You can see what you end up having by using your number 1 through whatever keys, number 1 through 7 or 8 or whatever the hell it is. Okay, over here, there's some more items of destruction. Pick these up because they're going to make a big difference in the long run. And with these 2 cheesy weapons and basically a level guy, level 1 noob style player is just running down the street, S-turns and stuff. You see this large tanker, American flag on it. Stay to the right hand side here. Run up past this van that's on the ground. We're going to get this done as fast as we can and get the hell out.
That train yard ahead is where our scouts reported seeing the KPA stockpile. The gas tank should be located somewhere inside. Infiltrate the building and try to get a visual.
Try to stay as low as you can, because if they see you, it's going to spark a fight. So crouch, pick up all the extra things off this barrel. Come on. Since it's full, so it won't let you pick up anything. Okay. Over here, another crate of ammo, and we probably could clear this out if we have time. You can open up lockers. And if you're full on all this, then you won't be able to open any of it. And I am. So at the very top of the stairs, you want to be ready with your gun, but also be ready with whatever your takedown skill is. Whack her with a knife from behind. You don't necessarily have to pull her down and slit her throat, but you can definitely just jump this right here, jump that, like that, and just knife her down real quick. There'll be a third over here.
This looks like what we're after. Destroy all
Across
the
the
tanks
pipe.
you can find.
Come over here and knife this one as well. If If you ever fall down, you can come from these stairs. These stairs will actually allow you to come from the way you just came. And if you're not careful, they'll spot you and they'll set the alarm. Okay, so now we're almost in this room. Don't pay attention to shit. Run over here to the corner. Get behind this pallet that's up in the air. And you're behind this large, I don't know if it's 2x4s or metal sheets or whatever it is. The first thing you want to take out is that gun right there. See that gun on the wall right there? Take that down first. So you take a couple bullets, knock him down. No,
Race,
these containers.
You've got company.
Flame on 'em.
Figured out what you're up
Take
to.
your time, knock them down.
Finished and get out. Hurry.
There's about 7 of them here, so that's 1, 2. Pay attention to your health because they will hit you. There's 3. There's 4. Crouch, reload. Reload. From here you can see another one.
Keep at it, Race. You've almost destroyed all of the gas tanks.
There's be some resistance. Try to knock those guys down before they knock you down. Gotta heal. Keep your health up. You do have a sniper over there in the corner, so be careful.
Race, you've got company. KPA are sending heavy reinforcements your way. Get the job finished and get out. That should be all the tanks
Yeah,
accounted
that's
for.
all of them. So now just get the hell out of there.
The attack, so don't hang around.
Be a lot of firefight. You can see that there's a shitload of firing, right? Jump down this railing right here. Into this little hole right here. And you're downstairs. You can come over here. Out this way. Into the street. There's a broken down RV. While you're running, you might be able to load up a little bit, just in case. From here, you shouldn't have to fire on a damn
large
bullet.
KPA force converging on your position from the dry dock. Repeat.
Running towards this elm
Have
tree
major
metals.
incoming of enemy forces.
Here's
Get the hell out of there.
this Van. Just get up on top of the white van. Just jump up. Grab it. I'm using my space bar. I probably modified that. You figure out which one to use. And get up on top of the
More
roof here.
KPA closing in on your position.
You're waiting for the good old heavy things to run by. And your enemies are spreading out. Then just jump. If you miss, that's fine. You're not going to take that much damage. And you can run towards the tractor-trailer truck into the building.
Race, what's the delay?
You'll see a
Have
couple
no
guys
support
over
out
there.
there. Get your asses back now.
Just keep moving. Stay a little far left if you can. And there'll be a couple more tidbits of goodies here. You're full, so you can't use those. And then you can just basically run out this way and go right through this brick wall hole that you came from. And back to this way.
I think
And
you're
guess
through the
what?
worst of it. The enemies still have a heavy presence in
And
the area.
you're done.
Looks like you slipped through their net. Good job out there.
Takes 9 minutes or less if you do it faster. And as a newbie coming in, you got 750 experience points already. That's a decent amount of experience points. And eventually, sometimes it'll actually give you more for the difficulty levels, but you get 1,000 experience points. And that's not quite enough to do your first XP or skill point, because you need 1,500 experience points, so you actually have to run that a second time. But for the most part, that's basically all you really have to do. And let's get back into the game here. Okay, so now we come back into the game. And if you have experience points and stuff in here, it'll actually light up. It'll show you XP thing. It'll actually show you Armory, because you have a little icon there that you have enough cash to buy something out of the Armory. I'm pretty sure there's an XP one here that's not there now because I'm over XPs. Alright, so I don't have enough XP points. I could actually run that again, because up the very top of there it tells you have 1,042 experience points, and you can't actually just go in here, back out. Where is it? It is character setup and skills. The skills are not lit up to where I can actually come in here and buy anything, because I need, it tells you right there, insufficient XP. I need 1,500. I got 1,042, and I don't want to buy them anyway. I could run that. And look, it takes 8 minutes. You can run that 2 or 3 times a night, or you can run it 5 times. Like I said, if you run it 5 times, you're going to be able to buy at least 2 to 3 skills. and it's going to help you. And a couple nights you're on your way. I mean, it's like easy money, and that is burnt offerings map. That's going to get you a lot farther. Again, for a really quick review, pay attention to what bottom skill you want out of one of these 4 trees. My personal recommendation is the fighter tree. The fighter tree will actually give you a box that you can throw down at the bottom once you get down to the bottom on the tier level 4 selection, and it's highlighted and you have it. You can actually throw a box of ammo down for whoever's with you or by yourself. You can throw this box down on the ground and everybody gets to share ammo. And another benefit to this tree is that you actually get a tier level 3 thing, which is going to allow you to grab another weapon. I also thought about getting more ammo for all my weapons, but I spread my points out too thin. I didn't have the chance to come back and pick this one out, which I think would have been a wonderful one. But that's just the way it is. So those two are totally awesome. I think the fighter tree, in my opinion, is the best, but other people like other things, and that's fine with me. But anyway, so that's that for that. Again, don't forget about the weapon points or weapon parts to move up your weapons. Get them as high as you can on your favorite ones first. Remember, you only can have one assault rifle, one in your skill tree. You only get a certain amount of. You only get a certain amount of. You only get one out of the assault tree, one out of the shotgun, one out of the battle rifle, and one out of the crossbow at one time. You can change them anytime you want to, but the maximum you can have out of every one of these is only one. So you're never going to have 2 battle rifles. You can never have 2 shotguns or assault rifles. You can only have one of each category, if you will, in your possession, manned and readied up in your hands is what I should say. Other than that, that's it. It's pretty easy and cheesy, but this is Mission Incredible. I'm going to head and sign off for the Mission Incredible group. Hopefully this will make sense. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, and we'll get back to you.